Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I welcome you all to ARD Static Series for NABARD Grade A 2026 exam. So I hope I am audible and the screen is properly visible to you all. Please let me know in the chat section that my voice is clear and the screen is visible so that I can proceed with the session. Good afternoon, Sachin. Yes. Please let me know everything is fine so that I can start with the session. Okay. Thank you so much, Sachin. Okay, I think everything is fine, right? Okay, we can start the session and I welcome you all once again. And this is our class 3, right? And today we are going to cover topic that is farming system. Sorry. So students, these classes are for the NABARD Grade 2026 examination, right? And we have already covered 2 classes where we have covered introduction to agriculture and agronomy. Today is third class wherein we are going to discuss topic farming system. But before I start this, I would like to tell you about our 2-day demo course, right? So if you are interested in purchasing our course and you wanted to know what exactly we provide in our main course, for that you can avail this 2-day demo course for 1 rupee. You can see what content we are providing and accordingly you can decide whether you want to purchase our course or not. With that, I'll start by first giving you the answers of the practice questions that I have given to you yesterday. So the first question was, in dryland farming, a specific spatial arrangement is sometimes utilized where crops are planted in 2 adjacent rows while the third row is intentionally left empty. What is the primary objective of this paired row cropping system? So answer for this will be to conserve soil moisture for the adjacent plant rows. So students, there is a system known as paired row cropping system where what we do, see, our general sowing method is that we sow crop in rows, right? So this is our general or the most common method used. But sometimes when we want to conserve moisture or when we want that plant to grow well, so what we do, we skip the third row. We skip the third row and we grow crop in paired row system. Why this is done? This is done basically if there will be a rainfall or irrigation, water can be conserved in this empty area that can be later utilized by the adjacent row crop, right? So that is the advantage, or that is why this particular system is adopted. Okay, coming to second question, agronomy encompasses various scientific practice aimed at optimizing farm operation. Which of the following represent a core activity within the scope of agronomic management? So students, answer will be here option C, which is determining the precise timing and quantity of water needed by the crops, especially in the water scarce condition. So basically it's asking you about the scope of agronomy. So agronomy may we learn about field crops and their cultivation, how do we cultivate them, what practices to use for cultivating these crops. So we know what is the exact time to grow crop, what is the amount of water required by the crop, right? And if we have dry land conditions, so especially we can manage crop in a good way. Okay, so that is the answer for the question that I have given you yesterday. Again, let me show you the timetable before proceeding. Today is third class. Okay, we are covering chapter farming system. Tomorrow will be the fourth class wherein we are covering the topic cropping system, cropping pattern, agrometeorology. Okay, I hope till then it's fine and I hope till now everybody has joined. Okay, great. Let's move ahead. Okay, so yes, today we are covering farming system, right? So first let me explain to you what is the meaning of farming system and then we'll see questions. Then we'll cover this topic through different questions. So students, what is farming system? We need to understand this first. So basically, as you can see, it's written farming system is a planned combination of farm enterprises. Here we have to understand the meaning of farm enterprise first. What is farm enterprise? So in agriculture, there are different activities that a farmer is doing. Farmer is doing crop production. Farmer is doing animal rearing. Farmer is also doing forestry or doing poultry. So there are different activities that are done under agriculture. As we know, it's not just about crop production, right? It's also about animal rearing. It is also about poultry, piggery, goatry. There are so many activities that can be done by the farmer. Now, when we talk about farm enterprise, what can be a farm enterprise? So one activity that is taken by farmer in his farm is called as farm enterprise. So crop production will be one enterprise, animal rearing will be the another enterprise. If forestry is taken, that will be the third enterprise. If poultry is taken, that will be the fourth enterprise, right? So basically, one activity that is taken by farmer in the farm is called as one enterprise. And when we combine these enterprise in a planned way, when we combine more agriculture enterprises in a planned way, and why we are combining these, let's see, such as crop, livestock, poultry, fisheries, horticulture, along with the resources available to the farm like land, labor, capital, water, and technology. So the basic idea behind combining these enterprises is to utilize the resources. What kind of resources? Land, labor, capital, water, technology in a efficient way, right? So see, if I am a farmer and I wanted to rear animal as well as I wanted to grow crops, so I will have certain amount of resources, and I wanted to do both enterprise. So what I'll do, I'll allocate my resources in such a way that it is allocated in a way that I am getting maximum benefit out of it, right? So what I'll do basically, if my two enterprises are animal husbandry, poultry, and crop production. So in the crop production part, whatever waste is being generated, what is the waste? See, after harvesting the crop, I'll harvest, I'll keep away all the economical part of the crop, right? And rest other part, which is the straw or the left part of a plant, that can be used to feed animal. So what I'm using, I am basically utilizing these resources, that is the waste product of one enterprise, to the other enterprise, so that can be fed to the animal, right? Similarly, animals here will generate some waste. Okay, so they will generate some waste which is called organic manure, and that manure can be utilized in the crop production enterprise. How? Because see, students, the animal waste is very important. I would say it's a very good source of nutrient for the soil or for the plant, right? So if we add this organic manure or the waste produced by the animals in the soil, what will happen? Soil will have more amount of nutrient for the crop, right? And our crop production will increase. So this is basically a natural fertilizer, you can say, that can be added to crop production enterprise. So you can see we have integrated two enterprises in such a way that we are utilizing all the resources that we have in the farm, right? And nothing is getting wasted. If I had only one enterprise, so all the cow dung would have got wasted, or I would have to deal with it in some other way, right? Similarly, all the crop straw dust can get wasted. So thing like that, to avoid things like that, I can integrate my farm enterprises in such a way so that all the resources are used. Okay, nothing is being wasted. Whatever resources are produced in the farm, that can be planned in such a way, that can be used in such a way that I am not wasting anything, rather I am utilizing them and getting maximum out of it, right? So this is the meaning of farming system. Okay, so basically developing a system that is useful for the farmer. Clear? Okay, so that was about this topic. Now let's see question. First question of the day is, match the farming type with its correct annual rainfall criteria according to the dryland agriculture classification, right? So students, farming system is of varied type. There are different types of farming system, okay? And farming system has been classified on different bases. One of the bases is based on the rainfall that is received by any particular region, right? That is what is asked to you. So your statement one is, dry farming receives less than 750 mm annually. Dryland farming receives 750 to 1150 annually. Rainfed farming receives more than 1150 mm annually. So which statement is correct? You have to tell me. Okay. Chalo. Which statement is correct? Tell me. So today I'm going to give you answer first and then give you the explanation, right? Because it takes a lot of time to come, to show you again this question and then read the options and things like that. A lot of time is getting wasted there. So what I'll do, I'll give you the answer first and then I'll give you the explanation. Very good. I can see right answers coming. Very good. Very good. BS Basi, very good. Shantanu, I think, yes. Sachin, Akshada, Sandeep, very good. You have given the right answer. It's option D, right? All of the above, like statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 is correct with regards to dryland agriculture classification. Let's see this classification in detail. And students, why I'm taking this very first thing in this class, because in your 2024 descriptive answer writing, there was one question that was directly asked to you in your descriptive answer writing, that write about dryland farming, or what do you understand by dryland farming. Something about dryland farming was asked to you. So it's very important, and many a times in your objective part they have asked this question, right? So first we'll understand what is this classification, what is the difference between dry farming, dryland farming and rainfed farming. So students, see, we know for agriculture, for growing crop, moisture is very important, right? So soil moisture is very important. If there will be lack of water, we will not be able to grow crops, right? And there are a lot of or there are regions in our country which are totally dependent on rainfall for the soil moisture. They do not have irrigation facility. Okay, so what is happening here? The agriculture is totally dependent on the rainfall, right? So based on the rainfall received by any particular region, this classification has been done, right? If any region receive rainfall less than 750 mm annually, which is very low rainfall, it will be called as dry farming. So such reasons will be called as dry farming reasons. Okay. Coming to the next, which is regions which are receiving rainfall between 750 to 1150 mm annually, will be called as dryland farming regions. Clear? And if any region receive more than 1150 mm annually, that will be called as rainfed farming. See, there are areas in India like Rajasthan. There are certain part in Rajasthan receiving a very less rainfall, that will fall under dry farming. And then there are regions in our northeastern state where the rainfall is very high, so they will fall under rainfed farming, right? So based on basically amount of rainfall received by any particular region, this classification has been done. Okay, now let's see what are other characteristics of these farming, which are again very important, and you have to learn these things, right? First is, if I talk about irrigation support, so in dry farming, there is no irrigation support. Crop rely only on the limited rainfall that happens there. Basically, in regions where there is no water resources, there is no irrigation support, and rainfall is also very limited. Such reason is dry farming reason, right? If I talk about irrigation support in dryland farming, so again, there is no assured irrigation. It is only dependent on rainfall. But in case of rainfed farming, again, no irrigation is there, but there is enough availability of water for the crop growth, right? So basically, students, this, before moving ahead, I like to tell you one thing. You can get confused. So there is one term known as rain-fed agriculture. ठीक है, पहले इसको समझ लेते हैं, then we'll move ahead. What is rain-fed agriculture? Rain-fed agriculture is basically, students, where agriculture is totally dependent on rain. ठीक है? When agriculture is totally dependent on rain, there is no irrigation facility. So these things that we are reading, dry farming, dryland farming, and rain-fed farming, these are the classification based of the rain-fed agriculture. Like basically, under the rain-fed agriculture, this classification has been made based on what amount of rain has been received by particular रीजन. ठीक है, कितना अमाउंट रेनफॉल हो रहा है किसी पर्टिकुलर रीजन में, वो क्लासिफिकेशन किया है. ठीक है, तो आपने कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. रेनफेड एग्रीकल्चर इज डिफरेंट, रेनफेड फार्मिंग इज डिफरेंट. ठीक है, रेनफेड एग्रीकल्चर अगर टर्म है, दैट मीन्स एग्रीकल्चर इज टोटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन रेनफॉल. बट अगर वहीं पे बात की जाए कि व्हाट इज रेनफेड फार्मिंग बेस्ड ऑन अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल रिसीव्ड, देन दैट विल बी अ रीजन विच इज रिसीविंग मोर देन 1150 mm ऑफ रेनफॉल. तो इसीलिए जो अगर हम इरिगेशन सपोर्ट की बात करें तो इरिगेशन सपोर्ट कहीं नहीं है. बट इन केस ऑफ रेनफेड फार्मिंग क्या होता है कि आपका जो रेनफॉल है दैट इज इनफ टू सपोर्ट क्रॉप ग्रोथ. इन केस ऑफ ड्राई फार्मिंग एंड ड्राईलैंड फार्मिंग, अगेन वाटर इज वेरी लिमिटेड. तो इसका क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होता है ऑन द कंडीशन, मॉइस्चर कंडीशन? So students, if there is no irrigation support, rainfall is very limited, so there can be severe moisture stress throughout the crop period, right? So throughout the crop period, crop can suffer severe moisture stress, ठीक है? Obviously बात है, irrigation facility नहीं है, कम rainfall है, तो moisture stress, severe moisture stress crop को face करना पड़ सकता है, right? Then coming to this dryland farming, there is a moisture stress during some part of crop growth. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि there is a little bit amount of rainfall happening, so there can be a scenario that during some part of crop cycle, the crop can face some kind of moisture stress, not in the entire life cycle, ठीक है? जैसे कि आपका ड्राई फार्मिंग में होता है. अगर हम रेन फेड की बात करें तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, जनरली लेस मॉइस्चर स्ट्रेस होता है ड्यू टू सफिशिएंट इरिगेशन और नॉट इरिगेशन, सफिशिएंट रेनफॉल, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे मॉइस्चर स्ट्रेस नहीं देखने को मिलता है, क्रॉप में मॉइस्चर स्ट्रेस नहीं होता है, ठीक है? अब अगर हम बात करें कि कौन सी क्रॉप आप ग्रो कर सकते हो, तो ऑब्वियसली ड्राई फार्मिंग में जहाँ पे ऑलरेडी रेनफॉल बहुत कम है, इरिगेशन फैसिलिटी नहीं है, तो यू विल गो फॉर द ड्रॉट रेजिलियंट क्रॉप, राइट? सो मिलेट्स, जितने भी आपके मिलेट्स हैं, पल्सेस है, ऑयल सीड क्रॉप्स है, जो इजीली ग्रो की जा सकती है विद लिमिटेड सॉइल मॉइस्चर, दे कैन बी ग्रोन वेल इन द ड्राई फार्मिंग, ठीक है? In dryland farming, you can go pulses, coarse cereal like sorghum, pearl millet, oilseed, cotton. Such crops can be grown in dryland farming, and crops like rice, maize, sugarcane, groundnut, soybean, which are high water demanding crop, can be easily grown in rain-fed farming. Clear? Now, if I talk about nature of farming that happens in these regions, so in dry farming, it is purely subsistence farming. What is subsistence farming? It is basically farming for meeting the family requirement. कल भी हमने ये डिस्कस किया था, ठीक है? तो ड्राई फार्मिंग में क्या होता है, मॉइस्चर बहुत कम है, तो यहाँ पे जो फार्मर है वो बेसिकली क्रॉप ग्रो करते हैं जस्ट टू फुलफिल देयर रिक्वायरमेंट, क्योंकि मॉइस्चर जब नहीं है, दे कैन नॉट ग्रो अ लॉट ऑफ क्रॉप, दे कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू हैव सच अमाउंट ऑफ इनपुट, क्योंकि अगेन मॉइस्चर है नहीं, राइट? देयर इज नो रेनफॉल, तो सबसिस्टेंस फार्मिंग ही मोस्टली होती है इन जगहों पे, राइट? कमिंग टू द ड्राईलैंड फार्मिंग, अगेन सबसिस्टेंस, मोस्टली सबसिस्टेंस होता है, बट समटाइम्स कमर्शियल क्रॉप्स, फ्यू कमर्शियल क्रॉप कैन बी ग्रोन हियर, ठीक है? बट रेन फेड में यू कैन इजिली ग्रो कमर्शियल क्रॉप्स, यू कैन इजिली डू बेसिकली कमर्शियल फार्मिंग, ठीक है? देन इफ आई टॉक अबाउट रिस्क फैक्टर, तो यहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली मॉइस्चर कम है, तो रिस्क फैक्टर कहाँ ज्यादा होगा? ड्राई फार्मिंग में, राइट? सो हाई रिस्क क्रॉप फेलियर रिस्क कहाँ पे होता है? ड्राई फार्मिंग में. मॉडरेट रिस्क फेलियर होता है आपका ड्राईलैंड में, एंड लो रिस्क होता है रेनफेड फार्मिंग में. एग्जाम्पल्स की बात करें तो राजस्थान, पार्ट ऑफ डेक्कन प्लेट्यू वेयर रेनफॉल इज वेरी लेस, कम्स अंडर ड्राई फार्मिंग. कर्नाटका, महाराष्ट्र, मध्य प्रदेश वेयर मीडियम विच इज द मीडियम रेनफॉल जोन, comes under dryland farming. Then Assam, Kerala, West Bengal, coastal Andhra Pradesh where rainfall is high, comes under rain-fed farming. Right? So this is your entire classification where we have classified all the different reasons based on the amount of rainfall received by it. Right? तो ये पूरी टेबल इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसको अच्छे से याद कर लेना, क्योंकि आपके एग्जामिनेशन में कहीं से भी क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है. राइट? They can give you 3 statement and can ask you like which of the following is characteristic of which type of farming. ठीक है? तो आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं और वो किस फार्मिंग में सूट कर रही है. अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल हैव टू गिव द आंसर. बट मोस्टली जो क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है वो अभी तक अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल पे पूछा गया है. Still I suggest you to please read all these points. They are very important for your exam. Right? Okay. Coming to question number 2. Please read these statements and then give me the answer. Statement one is it is a closed loop farming system. Statement 2 is it combines raising fish or aquatic animals with growing plants without soil and water. Statement 3 is fish waste provides nutrient for plant growth and plant naturally filter the water. Your options are hydroponics, aeroponics, vertical farming, precision agriculture, aquaponics. What will be the answer? What will be the answer? Please let me know. ठीक है, आपको बेसिकली ये 3 स्टेटमेंट्स पढ़ने हैं. इन 3 स्टेटमेंट्स के बेसिस में बताना है कि क्या पॉसिबल फार्मिंग के बारे में बात हो रही है. Okay, very good. I can see right answer. Sachin, voice of Swara. Very good. ठीक है. Answer will be aquaponics. ठीक है. तो okay, I can see there are 17 people who are live, but only few are replying. So I request everybody to please interact, right? That is how you learn. So please interact, try to answer in the live session. Okay, Sachin, I'll take your doubt at the end, right? ठीक है, वो doubt last में लेते हैं. अभी के लिए let's understand what is this and ये classification है क्या. So students, इसके लिए हमें समझना पड़ेगा classification of farming based on modern मॉडर्न टेक्निक्स दैट आर यूजिंग, इसी को ही मॉडर्न फार्मिंग कहा जाता है. ठीक है, जब आप बहुत ही साइंटिफिक वे या फिर बहुत एडवांस तरीके से फार्मिंग को करते हो, दैट इज योर मॉडर्न फार्मिंग. नाउ मॉडर्न फार्मिंग कैन बी डिवाइडेड इनटू टू पार्ट. वन इज वर्टिकल फार्मिंग एंड अनदर इज प्रिसिजन एग्रीकल्चर. What is vertical farming? Vertical farming, from the name itself, it is clear that when we are using vertical space, okay, usual जो हमारा प्रैक्टिस होता है that we use horizontal space, right? तो आप horizontally सारी crops को grow करते हो in a field, but areas, like in urban areas where this land is limited, क्योंकि काफी सारे buildings होती हैं, right? तो वहाँ पे land काफी limited होती है. तो जब आपके पास limited land है तो horizontally अपना production नहीं बढ़ा सकते. What you will do? You will go for the utilization of vertical space. So what you will do? You will grow crops in vertical layers, right? So that is known as vertical farming. So basically utilizing the vertical space for growing crop and growing more, increasing the production with limited amount of land. That is the vertical farming. आपने देखा भी होगा अर्बन सिटीज में वर्टिकली क्रॉप्स को ग्रो किया जाता है, राइट? सो दैट इज द वर्टिकल फार्मिंग. कमिंग टू प्रिसिजन एग्रीकल्चर. प्रिसिजन एग्रीकल्चर क्या है स्टूडेंट? बेसिकली एज इट सेज प्रिसिजन. प्रिसिजन मीन्स प्रिसाइजली डूइंग द एग्रीकल्चर. So again, this is a very high-tech form of agriculture, very high-tech type of agriculture, wherein we are using drones, wherein we are using the GPS technology, GIS technology, remote sensing to do agriculture. So what we do in precision agriculture, we precisely manage the part of field where there is a problem. So if we have a field and there is certain deficiency that we have, observed in this part of the field, and this deficiency or this data that you get is through the software, right? So there will be few software with you, and which will be, there will be few machines that will be surveying your area, right? And due to based on the data collected by those machines, you will get to know okay, there is some kind of problem in this particular area. So what you will do, you will precisely manage this area. You will not, if there is any nutrient deficiency, you will not apply fertilizer on the entire field. Rather, you will just spray fertilizer through drones in that certain area, right? That is known as precision agriculture, right? So precisely managing the agriculture is precision agriculture. Now students, let's come to the types of vertical farming, because यहीं से ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था आपको. तो वर्टिकल फार्मिंग के 3 टाइप्स होते हैं: हाइड्रोपोनिक्स, एरोपोनिक्स एंड एक्वापोनिक्स. What are these? So again, ये तीनों ही vertically grow किए जाते हैं, right? They are done where we are utilizing the vertical space. Closed environment में किए जाते हैं. Please understand, this is done in closed environment. Okay, so they are done in closed environment, and why they are done in closed environment? Because we want to make sure that all the all the factors which contribute in crop production, like light, water, nutrient, humidity, everything is maintained. ठीक है, अगर आप छोटे से एरिया में प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाना चाहते हो, you will have to make sure कि sunlight is reaching each and every plant, right? There is a proper humidity, there is a proper environment around the plant, तभी वो plant grow कर पाएगा, right? So for that, a closed environment. So you might have seen hydroponics. If you have seen, so it is done in closed room, right? Like you can utilize this room and I can grow here plants, right? So I can utilize this room, I can install some humidifier, I can install some lights, I can install some irrigation system wherein water will be continuously supplied to the plant. I can use some fertilizer, right? I can dissolve fertilizer in the water and that will be taken to the plants. So that is your hydroponics, basically done in the closed system. So what is hydroponics? Let's understand this. This is also known as soil-less culture. Soil-less culture. ठीक है? Why it is called soil-less culture? Because here we are not using soil. We do not use soil. ठीक है? What we use other kind of supporting material like vermiculite, perlite, coco peat. So other supporting material is used, but not soil is used. Because see, sometimes you avoid completely any supporting material. So what is here? You have this, pot where you have planted where you want to grow the crop, right? So this roots of plant can be either hanging, this will be hanging, or it will be supported by any inert material that I have told you. Coco peat, perlite, vermiculite can be used, and you will maintain a constant supply of water. And in this water, this is not just a normal water. This water will have all the nutrient dissolved in it. Okay, that will be required by the plant. So with this constant supply of water, what will happen? Plant root will absorb this water, which is the nutrient rich water. Okay, so plant will absorb water and nutrient through that constant supply, and through that, by that absorption, plant will grow. So plant do not need soil. देखो soil की जरूरत किस चीज के लिए? There are three requirement of soil for the plant: support, water and nutrient absorption. But अगर आप उसको replace कर दे रहे हो, आप support किसी और material से provide करवा रहे हो, आप water और nutrient artificially regulate करवा रहे हो, then plant do not need anything else, right? Other condition you are maintaining temperature, you are maintaining the light, you are maintaining the humidity. So then plant have all the condition to grow, right? So plant will grow. So when this type of practice is done, that is called hydroponics. ठीक है? इस तरीके की practice को ही hydroponics कहा जाता है, right? Yes, it is also known as soil culture. And डिसएडवांटेज की अगर बात करें तो एक जो डिसएडवांटेज है, सारी क्रॉप्स आप हाइड्रोपोनिक्स से ग्रो नहीं कर सकते हो. ठीक है? अब यू कैन नॉट ग्रो अ मैंगो ट्री इन हाइड्रोपोनिक्स, obviously, right? You can grow some limited crops through hydroponics. So that is the disadvantage of hydroponics. Okay, coming to next, that is aeroponics. So students, in aeroponics also, what you are doing, you are not using soil, first of all. Neither you are directly supplying water to the plant root. So what is done in aeroponics? The plant roots are, they are used. So basically this is a base, ठीक है, where you have uprooted the plant, where you have grown the plants. ठीक है, आपने यहाँ पे plants grow कर रखे. आपके जो plants के root होंगी, they will be freely hanging in the air. ठीक है, ये freely air में hang करेंगी, and you will have a system where you are spraying this nutrient rich water that we are using here, which is directly supplied to the root. ठीक है? So through mist, आप एक mist environment create करोगे, you will spray the water. You will not directly flow the water through the roots, rather you will spray the water, and through that moist environment, through that mist that you have sprayed around the root will absorb water and nutrient, and then plant will grow, right? So this is your aeroponics. Aeroponics means air. तो जो रूट है वो एयर में हैंग कर रही है, इसीलिए इसको एरोपोनिक्स कहा जाता है, राइट? यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट सप्लाई नहीं करते हैं हम न्यूट्रिएंट वाटर की, रादर वी प्रोवाइड अ मिस्ट एनवायरनमेंट. हम स्प्रे कर देते हैं उस वाटर को ताकि उसके अराउंड एक मिस्ट एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट हो जाए, एंड थ्रू दैट मिस्ट द रूट कैन एब्जॉर्ब वाटर एंड न्यूट्रिएंट एंड प्लांट कैन ग्रो. दैट इज द एरोपोनिक्स. नाउ लेट्स कम टू द थर्ड, दैट इज एक्वापोनिक्स, जो कि हमने अभी क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया था. तो एक्वापोनिक्स में क्या होता है स्टूडेंट्स? वी हैव टू सिस्टम कंबाइंड हियर. ठीक है, देखो अभी तक हम क्या कर रहे थे? वी वर यूजिंग न्यूट्रिएंट रिच वाटर. ठीक है, हम क्या कर रहे थे? वी वर यूजिंग अ सोल्यूशन विच इज वाटर एंड अ न्यूट्रिएंट विच इज मिक्स टुगेदर, राइट? तो अभी तक हम एक सोल्यूशन यूज कर रहे थे. बट व्हाट इफ वी हैव अ सिस्टम जहाँ पे हमें कोई न्यूट्रिएंट ऐड करने की जरूरत नहीं है? तो दैट इज द एक्वापोनिक्स. तो एक्वापोनिक्स में क्या होता है कि यू हैव अ system where you are growing the fishes. ठीक है, like for say this is your fish tank. This is your fish tank. ठीक है, and this is a area where you are growing the crops. So now what you do, basically you remove the water that is like you have added certain amount of water in the fish tank. What will happen? Fishes will eat the produce and they will excrete out in the water. तो जो भी fish हैं वो उनका जो excreta होगा, basically they excrete out ammonia, right? And ammonia is a form of nitrogen that is absorbed by the plant. तो अगर fishes इस tank में हैं, right? And fishes are excreting ammonia in this water. What we'll do? We will take this water and we will give this water to the plants. ठीक है, हम इस fish tank का water जो है उसको लेके हम plants को देंगे, right? What will happen? Plants will absorb ammonia from the water and plant will absorb required amount of water from that particular solution, which is basically the ammonia and water which we have taken from the fish tank. So now all the ammonia will be taken by the plant. तो अब क्या हो गया, जो आपका यहाँ से पानी निकलेगा वापस, that will be ammonia free and that can be again recirculated back to the fish tank. तो अब आपने एक सिस्टम फॉर्म कर दिया जहाँ पे एक फिश टैंक है एंड क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन है, दो चीजें आप दो एंटरप्राइजेज आपने इंटीग्रेट कर दी. तो आपने फिशेस भी ग्रो कर ली और आपने क्रॉप्स भी ग्रो कर लिया. तो फिश टैंक से क्या किया आपने, जो भी अमोनिया रिच वाटर है ड्यू टू फिश एक्सक्रीशन that you have taken to the crop has absorbed that ammonia, as ammonia is a form of nitrogen that is taken by the crop and it is important for crop growth and development. So crop will take that and rest the water that is recycled back to the fish tank which is free from ammonia. So this circulation is done and this type of system is known as aquaponics. ठीक है, ठीक है, clear? Okay, Sachin, very good question that how pollination occur in hydroponics. See, in case of hydroponics, if pollination is required, then artificial pollination is done, right? Scientists will go and spray the pollens around the plant artificially. Natural pollination cannot occur. For the natural pollination to happen, then the plants of both the, both the sexes should be there in the system, okay? See, you form a system, ठीक है, आप पाइप के थ्रू पानी को फिश टैंक से क्रॉप में लेके जाते हो and then you know whatever water is that is coming out from this crop crop production system, you again divert it to the fish tank. Basically एक circulating system बना दिया जाता है, okay? So that is how water come back from the crop. No, Sachin, it is not possible to grow hydroponics organically because in organic farming you have to strictly avoid all the chemicals. But hydroponics में you are mixing certain nutrient into the water, ठीक है? So आप already chemicals mix कर रहे हो water में, which are the nutrient and they are taken to the plants. So hence you cannot grow organically. You cannot do anything organically in the hydroponics until and unless there is any standard which is set by this government ki whatever you grow hydroponically will be organic. That is the different scenario. But right now you are already using the chemical and that is completely avoided in organic farming, right? Yes. Anything else anybody want to ask? Okay. So I hope this is clear, right? All the systems are clear to you. ठीक है? If there is any doubt, there is any confusion, do let me know. We'll discuss it later on. Chalo, coming to the next question. Very important question again. In the context of crop residue utilization in organic farming, what is the ideal carbon to nitrogen ratio recommended for proper composting? Chalo, what will be the answer for this? What is the ideal CN ratio, that is carbon is to nitrogen ratio, for decomposition to happen? See, Sachin, you don't have to, control pest and disease. Like it's not, in जो पेस्ट एंड डिजीजेस हैं, ये प्रॉब्लम मोस्टली तब होती है जब आपकी क्रॉप बाहर फील्ड में है. इट इज इन द ओपन एनवायरमेंट. Already in the hydroponics, your crops are growing in closed environment. There is a very less chances of your crops to get disease and pests. If it is there, then you will have to manually remove the plants. Okay? Chalo. ठीक है, I can see right answers. Very good. Very good. ठीक है? The right answer for this question will be option C, 30:1. ठीक है? Now students, अब समझ लेते हैं what is this carbon is to nitrogen ratio and how it is important for composting. सो पहले कंपोस्टिंग क्या है, लेट मी टेल यू. कंपोस्टिंग इज बेसिकली व्हेन यू कन्वर्ट ऑल द ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट इनटू कंपोस्ट. ठीक है, आपका जो ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट होता है जिसमें काउ डंग होता है, all the waste material from your field, all the crop straw, that is taken together and it is, you know, gone. It is a process that is done in this all material, which is known as composting, to convert this organic waste into compost. ठीक है, अब ये जो compost होता है, compost is very good for your soil. This compost is spread to the soil. ये compost क्या करता है, आपकी soil को, soil की जो properties है उसको enhance करता है, right? जो कंपोस्ट है वो सॉइल की प्रॉपर्टी को इनहैंस करता है, प्लस सॉइल में न्यूट्रिएंट की अवेलेबिलिटी को बढ़ाता है, राइट? सो ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट इज कन्वर्टेड टू कंपोस्ट थ्रू द प्रोसेस नोन एज कंपोस्टिंग. ये क्लियर है? बट अब जब ये कंपोस्टिंग प्रोसेस होगी, राइट, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट दिस ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट शुड हैव सर्टेन कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो. क्योंकि कंपोस्टिंग कौन करेगा यहाँ पे? हु विल डू दिस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन? It will be done by microorganism. ठीक है, so microorganism will feed on organic waste and then it will be converted into compost, right? चलो, now students, if I talk about how this CN ratio is important, so see, CN क्या है? Carbon is to nitrogen ratio. ठीक है, कितना कार्बन एटम अवेलेबल है पर नाइट्रोजन, दैट इज योर कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो. ठीक है, अब ये आपका ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट है, राइट? ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट में अगर कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो बहुत ज्यादा होता है, लाइक फॉर से जो क्रॉप पैडी स्ट्रॉ होता है या क्रॉप स्ट्रॉ होता है, उसका कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन है 100:1. ठीक है, तो इस सिनेरियो में क्या होता है? कार्बन बहुत ज्यादा है, नाइट्रोजन बहुत कम है, राइट? और नाइट्रोजन देखो सबके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी ऑल्सो नीड प्रोटीन. ठीक है, प्रोटीन किससे बनता है? नाइट्रोजन से बनता है. तो ह्यूमंस के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, प्लांट्स के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. सिमिलरली आपके माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स के लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है नाइट्रोजन इन ऑर्डर टू बिल्ड सम प्रोटीन. ठीक है, सो व्हाट दीज माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म डज, बेसिकली दे फीड ऑन ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट. बट अगर ऐसा सिचुएशन है कि नाइट्रोजन कम है ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट में, राइट, नाइट्रोजन कम है, क्या होगा? ये जो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म है दे विल टेक नाइट्रोजन फ्रॉम द सॉइल. ठीक है, अभी हम इस कंडीशन की बात कर रहे हैं कि ऑर्गेनिक मैटर अभी फील्ड में है. ठीक है, इस तरीके से समझना है इसको कि सॉइल में अभी ऑर्गेनिक मैटर पड़ा है और उस ऑर्गेनिक मैटर का कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो 100:1 है. माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म को भी नाइट्रोजन चाहिए, क्रॉप को भी नाइट्रोजन चाहिए, राइट? अब इस केस में क्या होगा? माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म विल यूटिलाइज द नाइट्रोजन फ्रॉम द सॉइल, राइट? माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म विल यूटिलाइज द नाइट्रोजन फ्रॉम द सॉइल. और इस वजह से क्या होगा कि आपकी जो क्रॉप प्लांट्स है उनके लिए नाइट्रोजन नहीं होगा, राइट? क्रॉप प्लांट्स विल हैव लेस अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन बिकॉज नाइट्रोजन इज टेकन बाय द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म, राइट? सो दिस इज अ प्रोसेस विच इज नोन एज इमोबिलाइजेशन. ठीक है, इसको याद रखना है आपने. दिस प्रोसेस इज नोन एज इमोबिलाइजेशन. ठीक है, इमोबिलाइजेशन क्या है? कन्वर्जन ऑफ फ्रीली अवेलेबल नाइट्रोजन और इनऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन विच इज प्रेजेंट इन सॉइल टू ऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन. ऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन कैसे हो रहा है? क्योंकि माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म उसको एब्जॉर्ब कर रहा है एंड दीज माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर लिविंग माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म. ठीक है, तो ये याद रखना है आपने कि कन्वर्जन ऑफ इनऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन टू ऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन, this is called as immobilization, and we don't want this process to happen because if it will happen, what will happen? There will be less nitrogen for the crop plant. ठीक है, अगर immobilization होगा, nitrogen will be taken by microorganism and less amount of nitrogen will be in the soil for the plants. ठीक है, but if there is a scenario where there is less carbon is to nitrogen difference, like there is a 30:1 कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो, तो यहाँ पे नाइट्रोजन की अवेलेबिलिटी ज्यादा होगी. इन दिस सिनेरियो देयर विल बी मोर अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ नाइट्रोजन. ठीक है, नाइट्रोजन ज्यादा होगा, राइट? तो जब नाइट्रोजन ज्यादा होगा, कुछ अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन विल बी टेकन बाय माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म, स्टिल देयर विल बी सम अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन प्रेजेंट इन द सॉइल फॉर द क्रॉप प्लांट, राइट? सो दिस प्रोसेस इज नोन एज मिनरलाइजेशन. तो इस समय में जो डिकम्पोजिशन होगा स्टूडेंट्स, उसको कहेंगे मिनरलाइजेशन, वेयर इन योर ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट जब डिकम्पोज होगा माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म से, इट विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू इट विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू इनऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन। बेसिकली जो ऑर्गेनिक वेस्ट है उस पर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म एक्ट करेगा, कुछ नाइट्रोजन तो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म अपने लिए यूज करेगा, स्टिल देयर विल बी सम अमाउंट ऑफ नाइट्रोजन दैट विल बी रिलीज्ड इन द सॉइल एंड दैट विल बी यूज्ड बाय द क्रॉप प्लांट। ठीक है, दिस प्रोसेस इज नोन एज मोबिलाइजेशन। This process is known as mobilization, conversion of organic nitrogen into inorganic nitrogen. ठीक है, इसीलिए it is said that it's very important when we are using any organic manure, उसका कार्बन इज टू नाइट्रोजन क्या है दैट वी हैव टू सी। ठीक है, इसीलिए कभी भी आपको रिकमेंड नहीं किया जाता है कि आप पैडी स्ट्रॉ या क्रॉप स्ट्रॉ जो होता है क्रॉप का जो वेस्ट मटेरियल है उसको आप ऐड करो, क्योंकि इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम फॉर डिकम्पोजिशन, क्योंकि इट हैज मोर कार्बन टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो, तो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म को ज्यादा टाइम लगेगा उसको डिकम्पोज करने में, और हो सकता है कुछ टाइम के लिए आपकी सॉइल में नाइट्रोजन हो भी ना, क्योंकि दैट नाइट्रोजन इज टेकन बाय द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म। बट इफ एनी पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनिक मेन्योर हैव लेस कार्बन टू नाइट्रोजन रेशियो, उससे क्या होगा, आपका जो ऑर्गेनिक मेन्योर है वो डिकम्पोज होगा, certain amount of nitrogen will be taken by microorganism, but a lot of amount of nitrogen will be still there in the soil for the crop plant. ठीक है, इसीलिए this carbon is to nitrogen is very important, और जो ideal CN ratio माना जाता है that is 30:1। ठीक है, इतना होना चाहिए for this particular process to happen. ठीक है, so this is called carbon to nitrogen ratio, and this is the concept behind it. ठीक है, I hope it's clear, right? Chalo. Moving to the next question. Consider the following characteristics. Very large plot of land, low labor and capital use per unit of land, low yield per hectare, relies heavily on natural fertility and climate. So these characteristics best describe which of the farming system? Intensive, diversified, extensive, integrated, commercial. Quickly give me the answer, right? What will be the answer for this question? Please let me know. Okay, done. Okay, I can see right answers coming. Very good. ठीक है, आंसर here will be option C, extensive farming. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या क्या आपको बोला गया है? ठीक है, I can see extensive farming given by Aditya and Ansh. ठीक है, so I think there is a confusion between extensive and intensive farming. Akshda and BSJ. चलो, वेरी गुड। ठीक है, आंसर है यहाँ पे एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग। अब एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग आंसर कैसे है, लेट मी टेल यू। और जिन लोगों को भी कंफ्यूजन हुआ है, जिन्होंने इंटेंसिव फार्मिंग कहा है, लेट मी गिव यू द क्लियर पिक्चर ऑफ बोथ दिस फार्मिंग सिस्टम। ठीक है, तो स्टूडेंट्स इंटेंसिव और एक्सटेंसिव का डिफरेंस समझ लो। सबसे पहले इंटेंसिव फार्मिंग क्या होती है? दिस इज अ टाइप ऑफ फार्मिंग विच इज डन इन स्मॉल पीस ऑफ लैंड। ठीक है, विद हाई इनपुट। अगर आपके पास स्मॉल पीस ऑफ लैंड है एंड यू आर using high input in order to increase the production from that small piece of land, that will be called as intensive farming। मतलब आपने इनपुट को इंटेंसिफाई कर दिया। ठीक है, एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग क्या होता है? उसका उल्टा, कि आपने लार्ज एरिया पे रिलेटिवली लो इनपुट से क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन किए। ठीक है, अब इन दोनों सिनेरियो को समझेंगे विद द एग्जांपल ऑफ अर्बन फार्मिंग एंड रूरल फार्मिंग। देखो, अर्बन फार्मिंग में क्या होता है कि लैंड इज लिमिटेड, राइट। अर्बन फार्मिंग में क्या होता है कि जो फार्मर्स अर्बन एरियाज में रहते हैं उनको अच्छे प्राइसेस मिलते हैं प्रोडक्ट अपनी क्रॉप्स के, तो वो क्या चाहते हैं? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन चाहते हैं, राइट। बट अगर यही हम रूरल फार्मिंग को देखें, रूरल एरियाज में लैंड बहुत है बट इनपुट कम है, राइट। सो दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग। वो एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग में आ जाता है। लैंड साइज की अगर हम बात करें तो इंटेंसिव में स्मॉल प्लॉट्स होते हैं, एक्सटेंसिव में वेरी लार्ज प्लॉट्स और लैंड। ठीक है, कैपिटल एंड लेबर यूज की बात करें तो यहाँ पे आई हैव टोल्ड यू हाई इनपुट्स आर यूज्ड, राइट? तो यहाँ पे हाई पर यूनिट लैंड, so it is labor intensive and capital intensive. So intensive farming is basically, it is labor and capital intensive because very high input is being used here, right? Now here low per unit land, less labor, less capital required, क्योंकि ये extensive farming है, right? अगर हम प्रोडक्टिविटी की बात करें तो ऑब्वियसली जहां पे इनपुट ज्यादा यूज होंगे वहां पे प्रोडक्टिविटी ज्यादा होगी, राइट? सो हाई यील्ड पर हेक्टेयर इन द intensive farming and there is a low yield per hectare in the extensive farming, right? Okay, coming to the next, if I talk about total output, ठीक है, so output will be moderate. यहाँ पे हमने कैपिटल लगा दिया, लेबर लगा दिया, वी हैव इंक्रीज द इनपुट, बट स्टिल लैंड साइज तो एक लिमिटेशन है ही. सो हियर if we see the total output, it is moderate due to limited land size. Here land size is big, right? So productivity or total output will be more here, right? Though we are using low input, but still जो productivity है वो यहाँ की ज़्यादा होती है. If I talk about examples, so rice and wheat farming in Punjab, greenhouse vegetable farming, poultry farms are the example of intensive farming, while wheat farm in USA, Canada, sheep ranching in Australia, these are the example of extensive farming, जहाँ पे लोगों के पास काफ़ी ज़मीन होती है and they are using it for the crop production, ठीक है? So they have a huge land, that's why उनका जो production है ज़्यादा होता है और उनको ज़्यादा capital और ज़्यादा input लगाने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. बट जब लैंड लिमिटेड होती है देन वी हैव टू गिव मोर इनपुट टू स्मॉल लैंड और प्रोडक्टिविटी फिर भी मॉडरेट रहती है. क्लियर? सो दैट इज द क्लियर डिफरेंस बिटवीन इंटेंसिव एंड एक्सटेंसिव फार्मिंग. इसमें कोई कंफ्यूजन है? लेट मी नो. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स मूव अहेड टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. In which farming system are multiple enterprises such as crop, livestock, poultry, fisheries, agroforestry combined on same farm in a planned way so that they support each other and recycle resources? Quickly give me the answer, okay? Still there are so many questions left, so we have to increase the pace. So please give me answer quickly so that I can proceed ahead. ठीक है, very good. I can see right answers coming. Very good. Akshita has given the right answer. So it will be integrated farming system. ठीक है. Let's understand what is the meaning of integrated farming system quickly. So integrated farming system क्या है students? It is the interdependent. This is basically the definition of integrated farming system, that it is an interdependent, interrelated, often interlocking production system. So again, farming system we have discussed in very first, that we are integrating all the farm enterprises. Integrated farming system, maybe we are integrating all the farm enterprises, but objective here is to minimize the negative effect of these enterprise on environment. ठीक है, अब आप बोलोगे मैम मिक्स फार्मिंग भी ऐसी होती है, तो मिक्स फार्मिंग में कभी भी हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है टू मिनिमाइज द इफेक्ट ऑन एनवायरमेंट. मिक्स फार्मिंग में हमारा जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है दैट इज टू इंक्रीज इनपुट. ठीक है, वहां पे हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने नॉट इनपुट, इंक्रीज द आउटपुट. ठीक है, हम अपने आउटपुट के लिए कंसर्न होते हैं इन केस ऑफ मिक्स फार्मिंग. बट इन केस ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड फार्मिंग हम मल्टीपल इंटरप्राइजेस को इंटीग्रेट करते हैं एंड अगेन द पर्पस इज टू मिनिमाइज द नेगेटिव इफेक्ट ऑफ दीज इंटरप्राइजेस टू द एनवायरमेंट. ठीक है, यही डिफरेंस है. ठीक है, तो स्टूडेंट्स, सचिन, यस, डाइवर्सिफाइड और इंटीग्रेटेड फार्मिंग का डिफरेंस भी यही है. वील सी दैट. ठीक है, इन कमिंग स्लाइड. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं, इंटीग्रेट करते हैं सारे फार्म इंटरप्राइजेस को इन सच अ वे कि हम इन इंटरप्राइजेस का जो भी एनवायरमेंटल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस है उनको हम मिनिमाइज कर सकें, राइट? सो दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड फार्मिंग सिस्टम. चलो लेट्स मूव अहेड क्विकली. व्हाट इज द प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव and advantage of diversified farming? Okay, first give me the answer of this question and then I'll tell you what is diversified farming and its advantage. Options are to focus entirely on one main crop to maximize specialization and market value, to rely solely on livestock and animal husbandry, to utilize vertical space in urban building, to reduce risk by ensuring multiple sources of income if one crop fails, to eliminate all manual labor using precision technology. What will be the answer? What will be the answer here? Okay, very good. Answer will be option D. ठीक है, I can see all of you have given the right answer. Well done. चलो, what is diversified farming? Again, students, diversified farming means farmer grow more than one crop or enterprise on same farm and aim is to reduce risk and to ensure multiple sources of income. ठीक है, तो डाइवर्सिफाइड फार्मिंग का ऑब्जेक्टिव ये नहीं है कि एनवायरमेंट में क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हो रहे हैं या उसको मिनिमाइज करना है. डाइवर्सिफाइड फार्मिंग का मतलब है फार्मर इज टेकिंग मोर देन वन एंटरप्राइजेस और टेकिंग मोर देन वन क्रॉप. ठीक है, जरूरी नहीं है कि मल्टीपल एंटरप्राइजेस हों. ये हो सकता है कि फार्मर इज ग्रोइंग मोर देन वन क्रॉप, दैट विल बी ऑल्सो कॉल्ड डाइवर्सिफाइड फार्मिंग. क्यों किया जाता है? देखो, विद इन अ सीजन इफ यू टेक टू क्रॉप, among the two crop, if one crop fails, you will still have certain amount of benefit from the other crop, right? You will still have some certain amount of cash that you will incur from the other crop agar ek crop fail hogi. But if you totally depend on one crop, if you just grow one crop, what will happen? There can be chances of 100% of crop failure, okay, and your entire जो भी आपने मेहनत की है वो सारी बेकार हो सकती है. तो दैट्स वाई डाइवर्सिफाइड इज ऑलवेज प्रमोटेड. फार्मर नीड टू ग्रो 2 or more crop in a season so that if there is any crop failure, again still it has some source of income, right? So basically here the idea is that we have to diversify our crop production or we have to diversify the enterprises in the farm so that we can reduce the risk and we can have multiple sources of income, right? So advantage यही है diversified farm के कि पहले इससे क्या होता है, reduce risk, that it help in reducing the risk from the farm, steady income रहती है and it also ensure better resource utilization. ठीक है, okay, I hope this is clear. Moving to the next question. Tea plantation in Assam and apple orchard in Himachal Pradesh are classic example of which of the following, which of the farming system? Your options are subsistence, diversified, specialized, mixed और permaculture. ठीक है, अब इसका आंसर बताओ. Anybody with the right answer here? Very good. Very good. I can see right answers coming. That will be specialized farming, right? तो अभी हमने पढ़ा था डाइवर्सिफाइड फार्मिंग जहां पे फार्मर इज ग्रोइंग टू क्रॉप और टेकिंग टू एंटरप्राइजेस. व्हाट इज स्पेशलाइज्ड फार्मिंग? उसी का उल्टा हो जाता है स्पेशलाइज्ड फार्मिंग, वेयर इन फार्मर इज फोकस्ड ओनली ऑन वन मेन क्रॉप. ठीक है, फार्मर्स के पास एक मेन क्रॉप होती है. अगर इसका एग्जाम्पल है लेंगे तो जैसे कि शुगर केन फार्मर जो हर बार शुगर केन ही ग्रो करते हैं. So they are doing sugarcane farming only. So they are specialized in sugarcane production. That's why it's called specialized farming, because the farmer becomes specialized in one crop production. Okay? So that is the specialized farming system where farmer is growing or focusing only on one crop or one enterprise to earn income, right? The farm resources, which is land, labor, money, is devoted entirely to the single product, and aim is to maximize the output and income from one enterprise. ठीक है, तो फार्मर का यहाँ पे एम होता है कि इसी एंटरप्राइज में ही बिकम स्पेशलाइज एंड वहीं से उसको मैक्सिमाइज करनी होती है अपनी इनकम, राइट? अगर इसके एडवांटेजेस की बात करें तो इट इज हाईली प्रोडक्टिविटी, इट इज इट गिव्स फार्मर हाई प्रोडक्टिविटी. क्यों? क्योंकि सारे ही रिसोर्सेज एक ही एंटरप्राइज पे लग जाते हैं, तो प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑब्वियसली ज्यादा होगी. बेटर क्वालिटी प्रोड्यूस, क्योंकि फार्मर हैज बिकम स्पेशलाइज्ड इन दैट एंटरप्राइज, सो फार्मर एग्जैक्टली नो व्हाट टू डू, व्हाट नॉट टू डू. Also farmer will have specialized machine to manage that particular enterprise. High market value, ये जो specialized farming होती है students, they are done for the crop which have high market value, like जैसे कि आपका tea हो गया, rubber हो गया या फिर sugar cane हो गया. So such crops are done under specialized farming system. ठीक है, but इसका disadvantage एक ही है कि if there is a crop failure, it can cause a huge loss to the farmer. ठीक है, चलो. Let's move to the next question. Nomadic herding, where people move with higher livestock in search of fresh pasture and water, is mostly practiced in which of the region? Quickly give me the answer. ठीक है, जो PYQ के लिए पूछ रहे थे तो nomadic herding से एक PYQ आया था. I'll show you that question at the last. ठीक है, और that will be a homework question for you. ठीक है, I have kept PYQs also. चलो, what will be the answer here? ठीक है, I can see right answers coming. Very good, very good. ठीक है, Okay. See, Ria, whatever topics we are discussing here, they are again based on previous year questions only. Okay. So the idea behind bringing these टॉपिक्स इज सेम कि आपके जो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पूछे गए हैं वही उन्हीं टॉपिक्स को डिस्कस किया जाए. ठीक है, अगर मैं उन्हीं क्वेश्चंस को बार बार लाऊंगी तो शायद किसी के लिए बहुत रिपीटेटिव क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं. तो क्वेश्चंस चेंज है बट टॉपिक सेम है. ओके, चलो. आंसर विल बी एरिड एंड सेमी एरिड रीजन ऑफ रीजन्स, डेजर्ट्स एंड माउंटेनियस एरिया. ठीक है, चलो. So what is nomadic herding? Let's understand. So it is also it is a form of pastoralism, which is basically people are moving from one place to another place in search of grass, in search of fodder for the livestock. Okay? So these people who are called nomads do not have any permanent residence. Okay? So what they have, basically they have a herd, they have a a group of cattle or whatever animals they are rearing, whatever animal they are rearing, and they carry these animals from one place to another place. So they just move from one place to another place in search of fodder, in search of grass for their livestock. So this is farming which is known as nomadic herding. Okay? It is now very less seen in the in India, but still in some parts still it still exists. Okay, mostly it is done in arid and semi-arid region, desert and mountainous area where crop cultivation is difficult. So there people are relying mostly on animal management. Okay, they are not growing, they are rearing these animals and their livelihood depend on these animals. So their animals like sheep, goat, camel, yak, they are reared. And for example, nomadic shepherd in Rajasthan who rear sheep and goat. Okay? So this is the nomadic herding. No, Sachin, this is not the shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is about the crop production. Okay? Where people shift their land from one place to another place. They grow crop in one area and they utilize that land for 5 to 6 years, grow same crop. After the soil fertility has gone down, then they move to the other land. So that is about crop production. Shifting cultivation, zoom cultivation, slash and burn agriculture is different thing. Nomadic herding is completely different thing. Okay? Yes, very good. Chalo, next question for you. Rhizobium, Azotobacter, Azospirillum are utilized in organic agriculture as example of. ठीक है. Your options are biopesticide, bioherbicide, biofertilizer, organic manure, synthetic chemicals. क्या होगा आंसर? What will be the answer? ठीक है, Rhizobium, Azotobacter, Azospirillum are the examples of. Very good. They are biofertilizers. Very good. ठीक है, अब क्या होते हैं biofertilizers? Let us understand. देखो students, in your organic farming, ठीक है, when a farmer do organic farming, farmer is not allowed to use any chemical, right? But if any farmer want to increase the soil nutrient level, then how it is done? One, they can use organic manure. Other thing that can be used is biofertilizers. What are these biofertilizers? Basically these are the microorganism. ठीक है, तो students क्या होता है कि naturally there are few microorganisms present in the soil which help in increasing the nutrient availability in the soil, right? So such microorganisms are called biofertilizers. So such microorganisms are identified by the scientists. Okay, and scientists grow these microorganisms in the lab. They culture these microorganisms in the lab, and then these microorganisms are distributed to the farmer. And farmer who are doing organic farming can take it and can apply these microorganisms in the soil, and ultimately these microorganisms will help in increasing the soil fertility. Okay, so these type of microorganisms which help in increasing the soil fertility are called biofertilizers. ठीक है, तो आपका जो राइजोबियम है, एजोटोबैक्टर है, एजोस्पाइरलम है, these all are the examples of biofertilizers. ठीक है, अब दूसरी बात है बायोपेस्टिसाइड और बायोहर्बिसाइड की. तो सिमिलरली जैसे बायोफर्टिलाइजर है, न्यूट्रिएंट को बढ़ाता है सॉइल में, सिमिलरली माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म दैट किल पेस्ट ऑफ द प्लांट आर कॉल्ड बायोपेस्टिसाइड. Microorganisms that kill weeds or other vegetation of the field crop are called bioherbicide. ठीक है, ये लिविंग माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म ही होते हैं जो पेस्ट पे या आपके जो वीड्स हैं या फिर जो भी अनवांटेड प्लांट्स हैं इन द फील्ड उनको किल करते हैं. क्लियर? सो आई होप व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ बायोपेस्टिसाइड, बायोहर्बिसाइड, बायो फर्टिलाइजर इज क्लियर, ठीक है। ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर वी नो वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट जो होता है, राइट। सिंथेटिक केमिकल होते हैं जो आपके केमिकली जैसे कि यूरिया हो गया, जैसे कि आपका SSP हो गया, DAP हो गया, दीज ऑल आर द केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर, ठीक है। तो दे कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड एंड रेस्ट बायो फर्टिलाइजर कैन बी यूज्ड इन ऑर्गेनिक फार्म, ठीक है। चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज अ लिक्विड फर्टिलाइजर बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑब्टेन्ड स्पेसिफिकली ड्यूरिंग वर्मी कंपोस्टिंग प्रोसेस? क्विकली गिव मी द आंसर। वर्मी कास्ट, वर्मी प्रोटीन, जीवामृत, वर्मी वॉश, बीजामृत, what will be the answer? ठीक है, क्या होगा आंसर? एनीबडी? Sachin, no, NPK is not a biofertilizer. Okay, NPK is a fertilizer, chemical fertilizer grade. So basically, it is a, you can say that it is a fertilizer which is having nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It's not a biofertilizer. Okay, answer will be option D, vermi wash. ठीक है. So students, what is this vermi wash? Basically, after vermi composting. अब vermi composting क्या है? जो हमने देखा था, organic manure is getting converted into compost, right? Through the process of composting, right? अब अगर ये composting process, मैंने क्या बताया था, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म से होती है, बट अगर ये माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म वी आर टेकिंग देम वर्म्स लाइक अर्थवॉर्म की हेल्प से अगर ये कंपोस्टिंग हो, तो उस कंपोस्टिंग को आप वर्मी कंपोस्टिंग कहते हो, ठीक है। वर्मी कंपोस्टिंग के बाद आपको डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट मिलते हैं, जिसमें से एक लिक्विड, जो इस कंपोस्टिंग के प्रोसेस में एक लिक्विड सिक्रीट होता है, दैट इज नोन एज वर्मी वॉश, एंड इट इज ऑल्सो वेरी हाईली न्यूट्रिशन, इट इज वेरी I would say nutrient rich liquid होता है, that can be applied to the field and it can help in increasing the soil nutrient, ठीक है। वर्मी कास्ट, वर्मी प्रोटीन are again other byproduct of वर्मी कंपोस्ट। क्लियर? वर्मी कास्ट क्या है? जो अर्थवॉर्म है, जब वो डाइजेस्ट करते हैं ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर को, द वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट दैट दे जनरेट इज कॉल्ड वर्मी कास्ट। वर्मी प्रोटीन इज बेसिकली द एक्स्ट्रा अर्थवॉर्म, ठीक है। आपने सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ अर्थवॉर्म डाले, दे हेल्प इन डिकम्पोजिंग दिस ऑर्गेनिक मैटर इनटू द कंपोस्ट। अब क्या होगा, विद टाइम अर्थवॉर्म की पॉपुलेशन बढ़ जाएगी, वो एक्स्ट्रा अर्थवॉर्म आपको निकालने पड़ेंगे। यू कैन यूज दिस अर्थवॉर्म फॉर फीडिंग योर फिशेस, दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज वर्मी प्रोटीन, ठीक है। Okay, moving to the next question. The conversion of farm and household waste into biogas and nutrient-rich slurry must occur under which of the following environment? ठीक है, aerobic, anaerobic, highlight, symbiotic, open air. So basically ये बायोगैस की बात हो रही है, right? अगर आपको पता है बायोगैस प्रोडक्शन क्या है, बायोगैस प्रोडक्शन कैसे होता है, आपका जो ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर है उसको डाइजेस्ट करवाया जाता है थ्रू अ प्लांट और थ्रू अ सिस्टम जिसको बायोगैस प्लांट कहा जाता है, ठीक है। तो उसके लिए कौन सा एनवायरनमेंट चाहिए आपको ये बताना है। दिस इज अ बायोगैस प्लांट जहां पे आपका ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर अलाउड टू डीकम्पोज, उससे जो डीकम्पोजिशन से जो गैस निकलती है दैट इज नोन एज बायोगैस, ओके। एंड दिस बायोगैस इज यूज्ड एज अ फ्यूल इन योर हाउसहोल्ड, राइट, वेरी गुड। It require anaerobic condition. So basically for digesting this organic manure, anaerobic condition basically means absence of oxygen, ठीक है, जहां पे ऑक्सीजन ना हो। तो absence of oxygen के presence में जो reaction होती है that is called as anaerobic reaction. That is the reaction which is required here and we require anaerobic condition. उससे क्या होता है, जो digestion होगा it will release some gas, okay, जिसमें कि methane is very important gas which act as a biogas and that can be taken to the household as a fuel, ठीक है। चलो let's move to the next question. Which of the following microorganism acts specifically as a new natural biopesticide rather than biofertilizer? ठीक है, अब आपको बताना है कि out of this which is the biopesticide which help in killing the pest of the farm, ठीक है। What will be the answer? चलो क्विकली, राइजोबियम, एजोटोबैक्टर, एजोस्पाइरलम तो नहीं होगा क्योंकि हमने देख लिया दीज आर द एग्जांपल ऑफ बायो फर्टिलाइजर। देन वी हैव ट्राइकोडर्मा एंड फॉस्फोबैक्टीरिया, ठीक है, वेरी गुड, ट्राइकोडर्मा इज द राइट आंसर, ठीक है। तो स्टूडेंट्स ये याद कर लो, वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल ऑफ बायोपेस्टिसाइड इज ट्राइकोडर्मा। बायोपेस्टिसाइड क्या होता है, आई हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन टू यू एंड एग्जाम्पल इज ट्राइकोडर्मा, ठीक है। आपके एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली एग्जाम्पल भी से भी पूछा जाता है, तो आपको याद रखना है ट्राइकोडर्मा इज अ बायोपेस्टिसाइड, ओके। coming to next question, what specific biological agent does BT cotton rely on to the production of toxin harmful for bollworm? ठीक है, प्लीज रीड ऑल द ऑप्शंस एंड गिव मी द आंसर. ठीक है, अब बीटी कॉटन का कंसेप्ट समझ लेते हैं. व्हाट इज बीटी कॉटन? बीटी कॉटन इज बेसिकली अ मॉडिफाइड फॉर्म ऑफ कॉटन वेराइटी. ठीक है, ये एक यू कैन सी मॉडिफाइड फॉर्म है कॉटन वेराइटी की, जिसमें हमने क्या किया है, वी हैव यूज जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग. अभी जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग से हमने क्या किया है, वी हैव टेकन अ डीएनए ऑफ बैक्टीरिया. ठीक है, एक बैक्टीरिया का डीएनए जो कि आपको बताना है कौन सा आउट ऑफ द गिवन ऑप्शन, दैट हैज बीन टेकन एंड इट हैज बीन इंटीग्रेटेड टू द कॉटन वेराइटी. ठीक है, तो कॉटन की वेराइटी के जो कॉटन का जीन है उसके साथ हमने एक बैक्टीरियल जीन को इंटीग्रेट कर दिया. ठीक है, एंड देयर फॉर्म्स बीटी कॉटन विच इज अ जीएमओ. जीएमओ क्या है? इट इज अ जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड ऑर्गेनिज्म. ठीक है, genetically modified organism, that means a organism where we have modified the genes, right? And this modification is done by taking a gene from a bacteria and integrating it with the cotton, right? And that form a BT cotton. And yes, I can see right answer, that will be your Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis is the name of this bacteria. ठीक है, तो इस बैक्टीरिया, जिस बैक्टीरिया से ये जीन लिया गया था, that bacteria is Bacillus thuringiensis. And that was the answer for this question. ठीक है, चलो, now these are the question for you. ठीक है, you have to solve this question and don't, okay, you have to solve this question and do let me know in the comment section. ठीक है, which farming system is described as being most suitable for densely populated countries with scarce land availability such as India and China. ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन ये है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, the term transhumance refer to which of the following practice? Now ये आपका PYQ भी है. Do read all the options carefully and then give me the answer. ठीक है, with this we have come to the end of this particular session. I hope you have enjoyed. अगर अब आपका कोई डाउट है, you can ask me. ठीक है, till then I like to tell you about our demo course. This is a 2-day demo course which we are providing for 1 rupee, and you can avail this demo course if you want to see what all we provide in our main course, so that you can make a wise decision if you want to purchase our main course or not. ठीक है, इसके लिए हमने डेमो कोर्स बनाया है. चलो, थैंक यू, एंड नाउ यू कैन आस्क योर डाउट. ठीक है, कोई डाउट है? एनी क्वेश्चंस? You're welcome, Vijay. Thank you so much. And ma'am, where wheat will be included in dryland farming? Yes, it will be in the rain-fed farming. ठीक है? Yes, yes, Sandeep. They both are the same. Okay, Sachin, see, you have to just learn few important microorganisms. ठीक है, that I have discussed in this particular session. Not every microorganism is important. As you were asking कि कौन से microorganism है for the NPK, तो nitrogen के लिए I have told you Rhizobium, Azotobacter, Azospirillum. For the phosphorus, we have fungi which is known as VAM, vascular herbascular mycorrhiza. ठीक है, these help in increasing the phosphorus availability to the plant. And for the potassium, there are some bacteria. ठीक है, but nitrogen is important, so you have to learn examples of nitrogen biofertilizers. Okay, chalo, Ansh, thank you so much, and you're welcome. Okay, anything else anybody want to ask? Yes, if you are targeting 2027 cycle of NABARD Grade A, then you should definitely start from this year onward. You can start with covering all your static subjects, जैसे कि ARD, ESI static, ARD static, then quant reasoning, English, descriptive answer writing for English and ESI ARD. Cover this till this year, and next year से आप current affair पे focus कर सकते हो. You can definitely start. Okay, thank you so much, Sandeep, and you're most welcome. You're most welcome, Sachin. your most welcome voice of Swara and Akshada. Okay. Chalo, I think we have answered all the queries and there's no doubt left. And welcome Aditya. So we'll meet tomorrow also, right? If you have any doubt regarding this class, previous class or anything else, you can ask me tomorrow as well. Chalo, I wish